Everybody, Ben for the Bonehead podcast, and welcome to Blood Bowl 2025 Team Guides. Today we're going to be looking at the Black Orc roster. Now, I love Black Orcs. I ran them in a league, and we've had them on the channel quite a lot. In fact, often. I will be wandering around the house doing chores wearing my Buccaneers t-shirt, the Black Mountain Buccaneers. So I do love Black Orcs, which is why I've moved this one up in the roster rankings for this edition. So we're going to look at the players, we're going to look at the roster, and we're going to look at just what you can run with one box from Games Workshop. So let's have a look at Black Orcs. Okay, so Black Orcs in Blood Bowl 2025. Spoiler alert, not a huge amount here has changed. So when it comes to the Black Orc team, they're still sitting at 60k rerolls. Ignore the tier. I think they're probably a tier 3 team now. In this edition of Blood Bowl, there's 4 tiers, but their Games Workshop are going to use their way of changing it. And when it comes to League, tier doesn't actually matter. And when it comes to tournaments, tier doesn't really matter either, because most tournaments will have their own rankings. They can get an Apothecary, but here's a couple of cool things. So they get Badlands Brawl, and that's going to affect which star players they can take. Man, we've got to look at all the star players as well. Ooh, there's some Blood Bowl to do. Right, they get Bribery and Corruption, same as before, which gives them cheaper bribes and a re-roll of the first one they roll when arguing the call. And then they get Brawling Brutes. Now, I love this for this edition. Oh man, I wonder if I can get the guys to... Ooh, I wonder if I can get the guys to... Can I convince them to let me run Black Orcs in the first championship? Oh, I do love the Bucks, and I think this is going to really change things, because this is going to speed them up. Right, anyway, I'm rambling. Brawling Brutes. What this does is that for a team that has Brawling Brutes, touchdowns are worth 2 SPP. Casualties are worth 3 SPP. Now, when you've got a team here of slow players with low edge, they're not going to be scoring a huge amount of touchdowns. The best thing you can hope for with the Black Orc game is a 2-1 grind, just smashing about, right? I think I pulled off a 3-1 once, but that was with some Goblin shenanigans. Oh, paratrooping into the backfield. So the fact your main players here are going to be speeding up with advancement is really, really, really useful. There is one caveat. In this edition, there's no random secondary skills. So one thing I loved doing the Black Orcs in the last edition was taking a random general on my Goblin when they got to 6 SPP and just seeing what they got. In this edition, if you want to do that, you're going to have to wait up till 10 SPP instead of 6 SPP, but then you can pick the skill. So actually, it's going to be slower to develop, which is going to save a little bit on team value. And then you kind of get to choose your poison when it comes to the Goblins. And when it comes to Goblins, you get 0 to 16 Goblin Bruiser Linemen. You get 0 to 6 Black Orc Brawlers and 0 to 1 Troll. Now, the Troll here has got no loner. So if you think about all the stuff for this roster, Goblins got doubles on cheaper at 10 SPP instead of 12 SPP. The Troll lost loner, and the Black Orcs are going to level up faster because they get 3 SPP per casualty, and the Black Orcs are going to be punching a lot because of the skill set. So actually, I think Black Orcs, specifically in League, they are going to start to cook a little bit more, cook a little bit quicker, which I'm a big fan of. I'm aware they're not actually called Brawlers, but I've always called them Black Orc Brawlers because they're Black Orcs with Brawler, and it made a big difference back in the old edition when you had Black Orcs on an Orc team and Black Orcs on the Black Orc team, and the Black Orcs and the Black Orc team had Brawler, so they became Black Orc Brawlers. Okay, Goblin, Bruiser, Lineman. Movement 6, Strength 2, Edge 3+, Passing 4+, Armor 8+. As Goblin as you get. These guys are, in fact, they are not 40k. They are 45k. So let us pause and unpause. Right, Goblins are 45k, so they're a little bit more expensive than a standard Goblin. They get dodge like a Goblin, they get right stuff like a Goblin, they get stunty like a Goblin, but they come with Thick Skull. Now this is sneaky brilliant. So Thick Skull means that as a stunty with Thick Skull, most stunties get KO'd on a 7 and 8. 9 is a badly hurt casualty and 10 is a proper casualty, right? When it comes to Thick Skull stunties, it's 1 through 6 and 7 is stunned and 8 is going to keep you knocked out. So actually, this now means that the most likely number to be rolled on an injury chart is a 7. 7's going to keep these guys on the pitch, and it is actually really huge. Those Goblins are very annoying, right? They're strength 2. Your opponent's likely to be able to get 2-die blocks on them all day long, but they've got dodge, and even when they do break the armor, that thick skull is just going to be really, really, really useful. So I like that. So they get agility on a primary skill, and they get devious as well. Now this team's got bribery and corruption, so we've kind of gone from Black Orcs, which were cool, they were good, they didn't do anything particularly special. Now you've got a team that is made to punch, and these guys, given that you've got bribery and corruption as well, can put the boot in. And there's a whole bunch of cool devious skills where you kind of get guard for that, you get +1 for fouling by yourself. There's a bunch of good stuff. You've got dirty player that they can now take without saving up to a secondary. This roster builds up a bit more of identity with its skill access, right? The Black Orcs are going to be doing Black Orc things, and the little goblins are either going to be a sure hands block piece at 25 SPP, or just a couple of cheeky little foulers that are just going to mop up after the Black Orcs and the troll, and I think that is just a ton of fun. Saving up for a secondary on 10 SPP or a stat at 14 SPP becomes a lot more achievable. The fact they've got thick skull means they're going to keep them on the pitch a lot more, but they are obviously strength 2 and armor 8+, so they are going to get beaten about a bit. But this is a really fun stat line. The Goblin Bruisers, they can brew up really nice, and they can brew up and support our Black Orc Brawlers. So movement 4 is rubbish. It's fine, but it's rubbish. I was really hoping that for this edition they'd boost them up to movement 5, but they didn't. You know, given all the work that the big orcs on the orc team got, I thought maybe Black Orcs movement 5, but apparently that would have been too good. Right, movement 4, strength 4, ag 4+, passing 5+, armor 10+, cost 90k, general and strength on a primary, agility and devious on a secondary, brawler and grab. Right, I am an ag coach. I love Skaven, I love dodging around, I love making some cheeky passes. But even I was absolutely seduced by the Black Orc front line. 6 strength 4 brawler grab pieces, probably backed up by a troll. That front line is maddening, and the fact that brawler and grab work so well together, it just means you can farm blocks along the line, you can make the most of it. And now the goblins have got a cheeky easier access to stuff like dirty player. You can farm them back to just absolutely put the boot in and finish those players off. Black Orcs have got better in this edition, not a huge amount, maybe 15%, but I absolutely love it. And the fact they're going to be generating more SPP more quickly because they're going to be more violent, I think just really, really, really helps them. And not only that, but in this edition, you've got Secure the Ball. And Secure the Ball allows you to pick up the ball with a non-unsteady or big guy player on a 2+. Now, it finishes your activation, but the Black Orcs are moving 4 squares anyway. If you can pick up the ball with a Black Orc, and you can do it, sure, it's a long way to go once you've picked up the ball with a Black Orc at movement 4, but this edition supports Black Orcs getting the ball and getting touchdowns. It supports them punching things and causing casualties, and I am just here for it. Black Orcs are fantastic, in which, oh God, I really want to get these into the championship. Oh, I really want to get him into the championship because I just want to see this roster shine. Cheaper access to secondaries. You're not going to need agility. You're not really going to worry about too much on it. And devious either. Maybe pile driver, like make a good hit and follow up. But again, the Black Orcs have got standard strength. So you kind of, historically with Black Orcs, you've got 6 of them, right? You take 2 with block, they becomes your speedy movement 4 blitzers. You take 2 with guard, 2 with mighty blow. They then trade off, and you just create this network of, you know, edge blitzers, and just you just pass the line across, going 3-die block, 3-die block, 3-die block. Beautiful. Break tackle as well on a Black Orc. Gives you +2 to your dodge. So now that blitzing block Black Orc that you develop, taking break tackle on there is going to give you a 2+ dodge into the open with a Black Orc. So that's actually potentially really fun as well. God, this is, yeah, Black Orcs. They're not the best, but they just got very competitive. So did their troll. So it's always risky to do anything with a big guy. If you've watched the channel, you know how that works out for trips most of the time. Bro, this troll has no nega trait. If you've got rerolls on your roster and you want to take a big hit, your troll can do it now. As long as he can activate with Always Hungry, this guy will do everything you want him to do, as long as it's not dodging because he's Edge 5+. But then if you even wanted the troll to be a dodging troll, you could give him break tackle, and now he's dodging on a 2+ when you want him to. The troll on this team is the best troll. He's the goodest troll. Good troll. A good troll. Yes, technically a mutation troll is a better troll, but this troll has the support of 6 mini trolls that can brawler and grab into this troll. This is mad. I love this troll. This is great. Okay, cool. The fact this guy's lost loner means, yes, you're always going to have that always hungry issue. Not always hungry. You're always going to have the really stupid issue where he has to roll to activate. So if he's by himself, you've got a 50% chance of him doing nothing. But if you put him with a friend and are in the Black Orc roster, the Black Orc team operates together as a Death Star. This troll's always going to be activating on a 2+. He's got no loner, so if you want to take a 2-die block with him, when you should be farming 3-die blocks with the big guys, if it goes wrong, you can burn a reroll. You do not have to risk it. You just straight up get the opportunity to do that. That is brilliant. Oh man, Black Orcs are a lot of fun, and the troll has got some real juice to him. I mean, when it comes to skills, you could take Brawler on him, you could take Guard and make him a big Black Orc. He's already got Mighty Blow. What else could you do? Break Tackle's quite fun. He also gives you a great throw teammate angle, so you can paratroop your goblins behind the line, so you could take Strong Arm on that to make it a 4+ pass. You could give him Bullseye, which means if he rolls a superb throw, he actually hits the target. But this roster just wants to punch face. You could just save up 10 SPP and give him block, and then you've got a block lonerless troll. Outrageous. Okay, so if you pick up a box of Black Orcs and you don't have the troll, this is what your roster is going to look like. 6 Black Orcs, 6 Goblins, 3 rerolls, 995k. Now, when it comes to fitting in a troll being 115k, you can drop a reroll. You're not going to be able to afford... yeah, drop 2 Goblins and a reroll, chuck the troll in there. That's 90k, 150k, and you are going to net... 35, 40k. You're not quite going to have enough for the extra Goblin, which means after game 1 you can potentially pick up the Apo, then you can start farming, or you just drop a Black Orc, and yeah, I don't know. I would start with the troll if I had a troll. So what this does though is it means if you just pick up a box of Black Orcs, you're good to go. But if you want to track down a big guy, you can easily fit him in, or you could just start with this roster, spend a few games grinding out, and then eventually buy the troll. But the possibility of 6 strength 4 pieces and a strength 5 piece all on the front line there, just working together, it's very tempting. So even though the box roster does work and you will have fun playing Black Orcs, I think the troll here is definitely one to pick up quite soon. All right, so I just talked myself into Black Orcs massively. Like, they were good at fun in 2nd edition, in season 2, but they were kind of like, they did their thing, which was have a really strong front line. And that was basically it. And in this edition, I think the ability to level them up a bit quicker, to level them up about more interesting ways, that just every single player on this roster got a little bit better in one way or another. Not from the start, but the way they're going to develop. And I think Black Orcs are going to become really fun and really scary in League. So I am enthralled even more by the Black Mountain Buccaneers, and I am going to do my best to get them into the first Bonehead Championship. Anyway, I'm going to wrap up. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and we'll be back with more content really soon. Happy blocking. I want to run Black Orcs.